Welcome again, Sagittarius. It's December 2015. Merry Christmas. A little early, but I may not have the chance to talk to you later in the month. And, with the transit of Saturn in your sun sign, that's been a little bit difficult for many born under Sagittarius, but a welcome relief having the warm sun and the bright Mercury transiting through this part of your horoscope. And certainly that's going to make life a little bit easier for you during this period. The other important component of this month is the new moon that takes place there in your sun sign as well on the 12th. Some fine aspects from that first house, Mercury to Uranus, and then the conjunction of the Sun. Well, the conjunction of the Sun, that could happen at any time during this period because we don't exactly have your birth time. So all of you born under the sun sign of Sagittarius will be experiencing this trine aspect from Mercury to Uranus in the 5th house, which is a very good place. It brings with it some novel sorts of entertainment this year, some novel people as well, unusual relationships that can pop up when you least expect it. They can also be amorous types of relationships, given that the 5th house rules love affairs. Venus and Mars have been in your 11th house, pardon me, so you've had a lot of social activities, notwithstanding this dampening effect of Saturn in your sun sign. But Venus moves to the 12th house of Scorpio on the 5th. And so this, along with the square aspect of Mars to Pluto on the 7th, the Sun trine Uranus on the 9th, all indicating very intense activity, but that new moon that I've just mentioned is going to be somewhat of a paradigm shift for you in terms of how you use all this energy. So there are novel concepts, meeting new people, that warm sun transiting, what we call the solar return, back into the sign of Sagittarius, and the ability for you to overcome this rather constraining influence of Saturn. That new moon on the 12th does bring with it a whole new lease of life and a release of energies, emotional energies, and hidden emotional components. So if you've been feeling stuck, I think this is a period after the 12th when you can start to make some headway again, start to feel confident about where you're going, and not feel too bogged down by these transits. Mercury, that speedy, clever planet, moves into your 2nd house of finance on the 10th. It then makes a conjunction with Pluto on the 20th. So it's moving pretty quickly up to that intense intellectual combination, indicating to me your desire to really ferret out some new means of earning money, thinking about finances in a deeper sort of way. And, don't forget that Pluto is a transformative planet that changes everything. It can do so by demolishing things as well. So you may have to use a fairly heavy-handed technique to crack this nut. It could actually be one of those hard macadamia nuts that requires a sledgehammer to open it up for you to release what's available to you. But most importantly, you've got this combination bringing with it opportunities for increased income. You've got that also the square aspect from Mars in the 11th house of profits. That's also it's considered the place of social activities. The square is not easy. It's very, very challenging. Could it be that some friend, or it could even be a close relative like an older sibling, is hammering you, pushing you to try something different at this time? You may buck at that, but it's well worth scrutinizing, listening, and at least considering that. Mercury, after that, does a square aspect to Uranus in the 5th house. While I'm saying to do that, you mustn't be speculative, you mustn't be stupid. You need to be armed with the proper facts and figures before you make any decisions, because that 5th house does tend to affect you with Uranus there in a way which indicates to me shooting from the hip rather than any diligent forethought. Sun also moves to the second house, so we can see how there's a strong shift in terms of making new inroads into your profession, how it is you're going to earn more money. Jupiter still continues to be in your 10th house. That's your ruling planet. It's in the last 1/3 portion, moving into a close conjunction shortly of the North Node, or the karmic point, and that's also very, very significant for you, because it may be that you're reaching a pinnacle or a crossroads where you have to make some fairly big decisions about that. But having the opportunities there financially, to me, is a good omen. We see the month finishing up with a lovely transit of Venus, quick moving this month, by the way, after being in the 11th, then into the 12th, moving into your sun sign, bringing with it just a social grace and an attractiveness that I think is going to help you along, not just in your career, not just in your social life, but in terms of your self-esteem as well. And I look forward to your company next month. But don't forget, there's more detail on this month at astrology.com.au. There's the link there if you want to look at it. And I've just also put up the 2016 yearly horoscopes, the overview for what's happening to you. Hope you look at that. Join me there. And until next year, have a safe and prosperous Christmas. Look forward to your company again. Bye-bye.